Systemize content shortcuts. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Excuse me. I know you're wondering, why am I holding up this little wind-up toy? It's one of my favorites. It's a little monkey. I know that when I wind this guy up, that this is being the idea that my children haven't broken it, which they probably have, which I should have tried this before I came on here with you, but this is a broken system, okay? I like wind-up toys. I like little mechanical machines that are simple in nature. It's a very simple process. When there's something broken with it, it's usually something very simple on the inside that's broken with it. If it were working properly, I'd wind it up and it would perform and it would do its duty. And you see this magical little creature banging its cymbals together. But it's actually, the mechanics behind it are simple. And the reason why I bring that up, it's because it's all about systems. You have to have systems in a business for a business to actually be a business, in a sense. It has to have the ability to have a life of its own beyond you. If it's completely dependent on you, yeah, it's a business as far as the IRS is concerned, but it's not what I would define as a business. It has to have mechanics that work apart from you. A really good, solid business in the long run has to be beyond mechanics. It has to have a life unto its own, which we've discussed about before. Some of the, and I'm looking to have some guests on the show that can expound on that idea of having the business being more of a living machine. So much more complicated than just simple mechanics. But let's talk about the simple mechanics, because that's where it all starts. And if you're putting content out on a regular basis, you're doing any form of content marketing with your business, especially if you're a solopreneur or if you're just starting out and you're starting to get things moving, you have to do your best at finding the shortcuts and systemizing them. This comes back to one of the top three pillars of brianjpombo.com. And one of the top three pillars is having your company being system based. You have to have systems in place. They're little mechanics that have a very predictable, if I do this, then this occurs at the tail end through that whole process. Sometimes it's a piece of software. Oftentimes it's a habit that different people in your organization are building up. And as long as all the other pieces are working properly, you get the same result over and over and over again. Big piece of content marketing is being consistent and doing things over and over again. So you have to have those mechanics in place. And I'm gonna completely reveal for you some mechanics I have in place that have worked really well over the past 2+ years here at Brian J. Pombo Live and the other podcasts that I put out. And I'm going to reveal to you mechanics that I don't have put into place fully, and I feel the issues there, and I know that they have to be put into place. And you'll know as you go along where you need things put into place and where you don't. So where it has worked is when I'm done with this episode, what I end up doing is I upload, I go through this process. This is being recorded on my phone currently. And I go through a process where I take the video file, I add this little thing. If you're watching, there's a little thing on the bottom that says AmazonProofBook.com, and that all has to do with my book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. So if you'd like to get a free copy of it while it's available, go to AmazonProofBook.com. You can get a free copy. So I always have this written down at the bottom of most of my videos, or I have some other call to action where I'm delivering people to. Sometimes I'll have pictures that pop up. And so there's a real simple program I use called InShot on my iPhone that I can produce these things pretty quickly, pretty much while I'm sitting on the couch after recording this. And then I take that to another program where it compresses it and sets it up in a MP4 file, which is separate from the MOV file that iPhones automatically create. So the MP4 file allows it to be able to be uploaded to a whole lot of different formats, and it's also more compressed so that it delivers a lot quicker for when we're dealing with situations where our internet is not as fast. So I upload all that and I put it into Dropbox for my producer Sean to be able to take that file and to be able to upload it to the different places where it needs to go. And there's different other pieces of software that make sure that that gets sent out. Beyond that, he also creates an audio file, which if you're listening to this via podcast, that's how that occurs. So all these different things, these are just little systems that we've built up over time. And there's some of them I'm in charge. Producer Sean E. Douglas has a whole lot that he's in charge of, and he's getting more and more proficient in all those things and learning how to make shortcuts for himself. But then putting those shortcuts into a system that can be moved forward and we can build on over time. So here's a piece of the system that doesn't work that great, is if I'm not staying on top of my ideas for each episode, because we put out an episode every night, then I'll get to the point to where I'm sitting here. And even though I've had 100 different ideas throughout the day for episodes, because you kind of train yourself after a while, it just automatically pops in your head, ooh, that'd be a good idea, that'd be a good idea. If I start falling behind and I'm not making a full list, and I'm not, and Sean's not adding to it, and I don't have other people helping to add in ideas, then I get to the point where I'm sitting here and I've had a long day or what have you, and I don't know what to do next. And it takes me a little while to get into the frame of mind and go, okay, what can we talk about tonight? And so if you're doing content on a regular basis, this is going to be an issue for you. You need to have things to help build these things into place. These are just systems. They're little shortcuts that get put into a system. Once it's ongoing, once it's regular, either you have somebody else in charge of it, or you have something that's really simple for you to do and build into a habit, it works. It will work over and over and over again. But you have to have these things in place. Otherwise, you fall behind or you get dissuaded and everything falls apart over time. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I'd love to hear what your systems are, what you've used to be able to keep your content going on a regular basis, if you've been able to, or tell me about the obstacles that you've been getting in the way. Just leave a comment wherever you're watching or listening to this, or you can always go to brianjpombo.com and leave a comment under this particular post. So you have a great night. We'll be back here tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.